going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So now, as you can tell, I'm still freaking tinkering away on old Killin there. Oh, God! She's getting freaking super bitch, I'm telling you that. So, this episode, we're going to start messing, I'm not sure what number episode it is, another part of the Killin It Resurrection series. But in this episode, we're going to start tinkering with a really cool, really badass, over-the-top idea that we got. Compliments, the mad scientist and I think we kind of collaborated on this idea. We are putting a full roll cage in the Killin It Mega Truck. Oh, yeah. A full chromoly freaking roll cage. Because there's multiple reasons for it. One, because it's freaking badass, let's be honest. That's probably the main reason, because it's freaking sick. But also, if this truck was to ever roll over, which does happen from time to time, luckily it's never happened to us. Hopefully it never does happen to us. But if a truck like this was to roll over, all this running gear weighs so much. Like these axles are about 2,000 pounds a piece. All the freaking steel that we added for the subframe, the transfer case, all this extra weight. So if this thing was to tip over onto the cab, it would basically collapse the whole roof in without a doubt. So then that could get your doors jammed shut to where you can't get out of the truck. It could be a real mess, a real big problem. So that is why we're doing this. Now, as I said, ideally that will never happen. But if it was to happen, I want to be safe and I want whoever's riding with me to be safe. And I don't want to get stuck in this truck. So that's why we're putting a roll cage in it. So what we're going to do, kind of the basic game plan, we've been putting a lot of thought into this. Let me pop this door open. We've been tinkering with it a little bit, pulling some of the interior apart to get a good game plan. We're basically going to come through the floor, probably hit this, this step well, is this? Yeah. Probably going to hit this, this running board bar that comes out here from the frame. So we're going to have a tube that comes up. It's going to run across the A pillar, across the roof, down the B pillar, and then down into the floor. And then we'll have to make an attachment point where it'll come through the floor of the truck and attach to the truck frame down there. And then there's going to be an X brace in the back because you need that for stability and so that if this thing was to ever like roll over and kind of hit from one side to the other, it kind of like gussets it to where it won't collapse in on itself. And then I think we're also going to have to run one bar across the visor. So I'm probably going to lose the usability of my two visors up there, but whatever, it's for a good cause, it's for our safety. But that is kind of what we're thinking. We're going to go ahead. I got the hyena meeting me here momentarily. We're going to start mocking up. We've got some cheap conduit, which is basically piping that they use to run electrical work in. It's very cheap, very inexpensive, comparatively speaking to the chromoly tubing that we're going to use to actually make the roll cage out of. That real chromoly stuff, even with our super bitchin' boy hookup, it's like $20 a foot. And it's like a lot of feet. Like it's a lot of money in material. Just bare bones material, let alone fabbing everything up, welding it up, painting it, powder coating it, and all the little fit. It's kind of an expensive ordeal. But like I said, it's worth it. What's your life worth? Worth a lot. Then once we've got it all mocked up, then we'll kind of have templates that we can use so we'll know what the bends need to be and how long the pipes need to be. The length isn't as critical as like the location of the bends and how, like what degree the bend needs to be. So we're going to make all that out of that cheaper tubing. So that way, if we mess something up, not a big deal. We'll throw a $10 pipe away rather than a few $100 pipe away. But once we've got a good template going, then we're going to bring the tubing bender over, go ahead and set it up, and we'll start actually bending the chromoly tubing. It's going to be kind of a gradual process. We'll get the template tubes made, then we'll start bending the chromoly, then we'll start figuring out exactly where it's going to weld to, how we're going to attach it. We're going to learn this together, but we're putting a freaking roll cage with a Killin It Mega Truck. Oh, brother. Freaking super bitching. So let's go ahead and start getting to work. I don't know if you could really tell in that time-lapse thing I was just doing. I kind of forgot to explain it before I left the mad scientist's house. But we've got our first little potential issue. It's not even really an issue. It's just a matter of how I want to tackle it. The problem I'm talking about is the freaking glove box. With where we're going to route this roll cage, the mad scientist and I, in that little bit of time that we were kind of trying to figure out where we're going to have those bars route, definitely needs to go across the roof. It needs to go down the A-pillar like I was saying before. But then whether we were going to have it go into the dashboard or have it drop right before the dashboard, or kind of what we're going to do with that. Well, we decided we're going to have it drop just before the dashboard for multiple reasons. Mainly because the way the design is of that truck, like the factory interior of it, there's not really a whole lot of room because there's a lot of factory bracing and everything right where you go into the dashboard there. So unless I wanted to remove a whole bunch of factory components, which I don't really want to do because I kind of like a lot of the factory functionality of the truck, like having my air conditioner, having all my factory gauges still work, having a lot of the factory electronics still work. So all that being said, we're going to drop the roll cage just in front of the dashboard. Like I can kind of show you on this truck. You should have been able to see it in that time lapse, but in case you didn't catch it, it's going to basically come right down the A-pillar and then drop right here just before the dash. Now the little problem with that is where it's going to drop down on the passenger side is going to be right in front of my glove box. And then so basically if I just leave the glove box the way it is, as soon as I have the roll cage in there, I'll no longer be able to open the glove box, which means I'm going to lose all that storage, which generally speaking wouldn't be that big a deal. But already with the aftermarket center console that I've got in the truck, I've already lost all that storage because we filled it all with speakers, amplifiers, and super bitchin' badass electronics. So my storage in that truck is starting to get kind of limited, so I need to be a little conservative and try to keep everything I can. So I got a good idea. What I'm going to do, I actually pulled the glove box out of the truck. I'm taking it over to my shop. I'm actually going to modify it a little bit. The way it's designed from GMC, basically that whole door, the whole glove box, like front glove box door, is all one continuous piece from the center console all the way over to the passenger door. Well, only about maybe 2/3 of that is actually usable storage. The rest of it is just like a decorative panel, basically. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut that decorative panel off to where the only part of the glove box that drops down is the part that's actually storage. And then the part that's just a kind of a decorative panel that is it's still a piece of that glove box door, but it's just like a decorative piece, doesn't really serve any purpose other than making the dash all look together when it's closed up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that end piece off, and then I'm going to re-secure it to the dash. I'm probably going to use like maybe some threaded nut inserts or something like that and re-secure it to the dash. So that way that'll be permanently fixed, and that'll be the part that goes behind the roll cage. Hopefully you guys are understanding everything I'm trying to explain here. You'll see when it all comes together. But that piece is going to be behind the roll cage bar. It'll be permanently fixed to the dash, and that way I can have the glove box door will clear the roll cage, and I'll still be able to open it and get accessibility to all that storage. So let's head over to the shop, and y'all, it'll all kind of come together as I start doing it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the old glove box here, get the lock out of it, and I think this is the only part that's going to be impeding on the roll cage. So I'm going to run it through the bandsaw, or sliding table saw, there we go, and cut it right about here. And this is I'm going to permanently affix to the truck dash, and this will continue to be operational. That way we'll still have a little bit of storage, and that roll cage bar will probably run right about here. So let's get to slicing and dicing, bruh. Okay, y'all, so now that I've taken the glove box and kind of cut it where I want in order to be able to clear the roll cage, if you look right here, so this piece I'm going to permanently attach to the dash, and then I'll still have use of my glove box. It'll still be able to open because that bar for the roll cage is going to run like right here. So this will not be able to open. So if I didn't do this, then this glove box wouldn't be able to open, and I'd lose all that freaking storage. So ran it through the freaking table saw, cut it so now it's two separate pieces, but I don't like how that's like a raw, ugly edge on both sides. So what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to go ahead and put a tape line right here, take a little bit more off, like basically double this thickness of this plastic. Once I've taken this off a little bit, because right now I've already got a saw blade thickness between the two, so when they sit, they should be about 1/8 of an inch apart, about like that. So I'm going to take just a hair more off. Then I'm going to go ahead and trace this onto here, cut it out with the jigsaw, and then crazy glue that plastic on the end of it, so it'll give it a nice finished edge. Then I'll see how that looks. If it looks good, then I'll leave it that way. If it doesn't look good, like still if you can see the seam really good, then I'll have to take both these parts back up to Line-X and have them re-Line-X them so that's all one continuous coat. But that's what we're going to do to make this glove box still usable with the roll cage. I don't have the time-lapse camera with me, so you're just going to have to take my word for it that that's what I'm doing. But I'll show you when I get done. So here is my tape line. So now I'm just going to run it on the old belt sander here, keep taking it off until that little bit is off, and then I'll have enough room to be able to put those two end pieces on here. Ta-da! And just like that, a little bit of material is gone. Now I've got enough room, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cover this in tape, that way I can actually draw on it, because if I draw with a Sharpie, it'd be hard to see. So I'm going to put a couple layers of tape, and then go ahead and stick this on here, trace it out, run it through the bandsaw, and do the same thing with just this little sliver that I need for right here. So let me get this all going, and then I'll show you kind of more of what I mean. Bam! And just like that, she's traced. Now it's off to the bandsaw. Oh, damn, y'all, just like that, bam, we got one end cut, freaking cut. I gotta take the tape off it still, but let me show you what the whole point of this is. So once I take the tape off of here, this, bam, will go just like that. And all I gotta do is glue it on there, and maybe clean it up with a little bit of sandpaper once it's glued, and she's ready to rock and roll. Pretty freaking sick. Now I gotta do the same thing for this side. Bam! Killing it. Well, y'all, that actually worked out pretty damn good, but I'm not gonna lie, I don't like it. You know why I don't like it? Because you can tell that I did it. You can see, I don't know if you could tell from that picture that I just posted, but you can tell there's a seam there, and it looks good, but it looks like I did it. I don't want it to look like I did it. It needs to look like it came from the factory that way. So I think I'm going to take both those pieces, like I was saying a little bit ago, and I'm going to run them back up to Line-X probably later this week, get them recoated. He can go through and scuff them up and just do like a dust coat over everything. So it's one continuous coat so you don't see the seams anywhere. But now that we got that all wrapped up, I got the end pieces on there and all, we're going to go back to the Mad Scientist home laboratory, continue mocking up the rest of this cage with that conduit, and then it'll be over to start fabbing up the actual chromoly. Oh, God, we're getting close, bro. We're getting motherfucking close. We're going to have a full roll cage in the Killin It Mega Truck. This thing's going to be basically a freaking race truck. Oh, God, man. Speaking my language, brother. Letting you know. Damn, y'all. So this ended up turning into kind of a freaking late night. I just got back to the house. But freaking plus side is we got all the freaking conduit all mocked up, so we know exactly what all the bends need to be and kind of where they need to be located. The only thing we still got to figure out and dial in is like the lengths, but we won't actually know that until we start actually bending the chromoly, because the tube thickness of the chromoly is obviously a bit different than the conduit we were just using. So we're going to go ahead and call it an evening. But tomorrow morning, head back over to the Mad Scientist home laboratory, and we got the pipe bender over there. It's actually coming over there. I think Mr. Steve is bringing it over tomorrow morning. But once we get that back over to the shop, then the Mad Scientist says he's going to spend a little bit of time with me and help me bend all this chromoly tubing, and we'll start tacking this freaking roll cage together. So, see y'all in the morning. Wow, y'all, and just like that, we are freaking mocked up. That was no easy process. Oh yeah, real freaking deal, y'all. So now the next step is start welding her up. So he's gonna go through and tack it all while it's in the truck, and then we're gonna pull the whole thing out so we can weld all the way around the pipes, like where you can't get to it above the roof and around the B pillars and A pillars. And then it's time for some paint, sandblasting, then paint. It's gonna be fucking sick. I'm super killing it.
Roger that.
You don't have to make that noise. Okay. 10-4.
All right, y'all. Just like that, the freaking cage is all tacked up. Let's hop in and take a little freaking look, because I had to leave and go back to work while they were tacking it. Check it out. It's freaking so cool. Damn. I thought it was going to be a lot harder to get in with this here, but it's not bad at all so far. But check her out, bro. So sick. So we got a few tacks everywhere. Freaking dialed in. So he just put a few tacks on it. That way we don't get a lot of sparks and a lot of splatter going on in the truck. Dude, freaking real deal. Thing fits like a freaking snug as a bug in a rug. It's so nasty. And it doesn't really get in the way. Like, I mean, yeah. Now I got no bar too. Very cool. We're up here. Oh, freaking killing it, bro. And you see it like tucks in right behind the seats. Like it fits perfectly. I mean, I'll probably put some like a pull noodle or something on here so I don't crack my head on it. But, and then maybe around here so I don't hit my head here, but it's gonna be freaking sick, bro. So now, next step of the freaking process, we gotta go through in these super bitchin' roll bar clamps that the mad scientist found for us. So you see how they kind of interlock like that? One half sticks with one bar, the other half sticks with the lower bar. And then it's got a screw here and a screw on the back side. So you gotta pull all those Allen screws out. And then the roll cage will actually be removable. This whole front section just connects from the hoop back here on both sides. So this whole front area will come out. The whole back hoop will come out. So the hoop will actually probably drop back first, and then it's got connectors down at the bottom of it, so it'll release from the floor. We'll take the hoop out, and then we can take this whole front section out. And a lot of benefits of being able to remove it like this. For one, I don't know why I would ever not want it in here, but if I ever did, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get out. Mad scientist said it's gonna be kind of a pain in the ball bag to get in and out. It's gonna be some maneuvering to make it work because it's such a snug fit. But I can take it out of the truck if I want. But why it's particularly important for the fabrication process is because we can get it out to where you can actually weld all the tubes all the way around. In most cases, when you're just welding a roll cage into the vehicle, you can't really weld all of it. So there's gonna be certain areas that aren't welded up. Most people won't even notice it, but for how much weight this thing has got to it, this whole mega truck, it's really important that this thing is as strong as possible in the event I was to tip over. So areas like way up in there, there's no way you could get up in there and weld that. I can't even get my finger in to touch it, let alone getting a welding torch in there. So it's important because of that. And then it's also important because once we remove it all, I can have this whole thing sandblasted and painted. So it'll look nice and pretty. I think we're gonna paint it the same blue that the interior of the truck has for accents, and it's obviously on the exterior of the truck. And what else is really cool while we're painting it, instead of powder coating it, is because we'll be able to put the sparkle in it. Sorry, the truck's like super dirty. Yeah, you can't even freaking see. You see that kind of shimmer that it has in the light? It's kind of hard to tell because the truck's so dirty right now. But it's got like a really badass kind of sparkle to it. And I can't even show y'all. Y'all see it out in the sun. But anyways, I can see it here. I wonder why it won't come through in the video. Oh well. But anyways, I'll be able to put that same amount of sparkle on the roll cage so it'll really freaking pop. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on taking these screws out, pulling these sections out so that we can get them over to Mr. Steve to have him fully weld this thing up. And then it's off to the sandblast and then to the paint shop. So time to freaking get after it, bro. y'all. Well, as we concluded the other day, Mr. Steve had everything all tacked up, so then I just had to remove the cage from the truck. The mad scientist luckily helped me out because I don't think I could do it by myself. But we got it all removed and ran into a slight little complication. This front section here would not come out. It is a little too big to clear the doors. We tried pulling both the front driver and passenger seats, and it still wouldn't come out. So we had to do a little modification, a little cut right there, add one more of our handy dandy clamps like we got everywhere. Not a big freaking deal at all. So I had to cut that, and then the mad scientist helped me section out enough to where we could fit the clamp in there. So now Mr. Steve is coming back on over. We put everything back in the truck so that we can have him go ahead and tack that up. And while he's here, I'm gonna see if I can get him to go ahead and weld these all the way up so I can paint these lower sections that are gonna stay in the truck. So Mr. Steve is on his way here, and we should be cooking with some bacon. Then we can pull everything back out of the truck and yeah, get it all welded up, sandblasted, painted, and back in the truck, brothers. Just I freaking tell you that. Oh, brother. And just like that, it's all tacked up, back out of the truck, and on our way to go get welded up. Yeah, brother. Next time we see the roll cage, it's gonna be time for some sandblasting and paint.
The next morning.
Well, y'all, I just got the call from Mr. Steve. Looks like our freaking roll cage is all welded up. So he's gonna be over here at my shop here and just, oh, look, speak of the devil. Speak, oh, you can't see nothing. There he is. Right there, right on freaking cue. There's a roll cage, hell yeah. Is that service or what? Brought it right to me right here at work. Everything's all nice and welded and purty. That is what I'm screaming. Oh, son. Stacking them freaking dimes, bruh. He's such a damn good welder, isn't he?
3 days later.
All right, y'all, I got the call from Miss Jen. It sounds like our roll cage is ready to rock and roll. It's all nice and sandblasted up. So I'm gonna pick her up so we can get on over and get a little paint on that old girl. And then it's time to install in the truck. And then we got a motherfucking roll cage, y'all. Hell yeah. All right, y'all, a little freaking creativeness with the welder. Some pieces of chain. Freaking roll cage is hung up. Oh, yeah. So now that she's all prepped and hanging, ready for some paint, tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm meeting my boy Chris down here. And we're gonna squirt her with some of that blue that matches the outside of the Mega Truck. And we're gonna also put some of that super bitchin' metallic stuff in the clear coat so it'll have that sparkle look to it. But those are all 3 pieces of the roll cage. Hanging, ready to rock and roll. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna randomly throw this in here somewhere in the video. So, it's right here. I get asked all the time, like, where do I get the Killin It gear from? Where can I get a Killin It shirt? Where can I get a Killin It hat? Well, on our website, killinitlifestyle.com. It's on all the sign-offs of all my videos, but I'm gonna do y'all one better. I'm gonna start every now and then in my YouTube videos, I'm gonna throw a little keyword in here. Now, a little bit later on in the week, I'm gonna post on my Instagram page asking y'all to let me know what that keyword is. The first 2 people to comment and let me know what the keyword is, y'all are gonna get a free Killin It hat, and y'all are gonna get a free Killin It shirt. So for this video, the password's gonna be pineapples. So when I post on the Killin It Instagram page, Killin It Lifestyle, when I post on there saying, hey, comment what the password is, y'all get your free gear, that's the password I'm looking for. Comment the word pineapples and y'all will get some free Killin It swag. All right, all primed up. About ready to start laying in some paint, bro. Got the first couple coats of paint, actually no, last couple coats of paint. We did 2 or 3 heavy coats, and then we sanded it all to get all those little fibers off. And then we went through and he hammered it with one more really thick ass coat. Look at how bitchin' it looks. Super slicked out. Wait till you see this with some freaking clear on it. So this color, it's kind of like a purple look to it if you look. But once you put the clear coat on it, bro, then we're gonna put that metallic flake in the clear. Sick. All right, y'all, just like that, the roll cage is freaking dry. Look at that freaking finish. Oh, look at the sparkle, son. So sexy. She is gonna look super bitchin' in the Mega Truck, bro. So, gotta get her loaded up. Gonna take her on over to my house, and when we get the Mega Truck over there to put the big wheels on it, I think that will be when we install the roll cage. But, yeah, look at that freaking metallic. You can only see when the light really hits it, but yeah, look at it. Oh, baby. Freaking killing it. Yeah! So now that I've got these studs all painted up, I went ahead and got these rubber grommets right here. And these got an 1 3/4 inner diameter and a 3 1/4 outside diameter. So I went ahead and traced around each of these studs and trimmed this hole out to where it's 3 1/4, perfectly around where this stud ended up being. And then I got these rubber grommets that seal up between the body and the actual stud, hopefully keep most of the water out. So went ahead and installed these two on the passenger side. So now I'm gonna pull the carpet back over and start buttoning up this side of the truck. Start putting the trim pieces back on. Get her all buttoned up so I can go ahead and get the passenger seat installed, and then I'm gonna move on over to the driver's side. And just like that, the passenger side of the truck is all back together. Boom, we got our stud sticking through for when I reattach the roll cage. We got the one back yonder as well. All nice and sealed up with the rubber boots. Perking right through the floor, freaking killing it. So now, passenger side's ready to rock and roll. Time to move on over to the driver's side. Got the holes already trimmed out. That one is a little bit, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do there. I had a bunch of wires running through that hole too, and it didn't line up exactly with where the hole had to be cut for the roll cage to go through. So, I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out here in a minute. This side's ready to rock and roll. Went ahead and cut the hole all out. So now I can put my rubber donut in, seal her up. There's the donut right there. And bam, carpet can go back in, and this seat can go back in, and then the driver's side can go back together. We are getting mother freaking closer, y'all. You'll feel your further tingling in your freaking bones. Hell, that's super killing it right there, I tell you that. All right, y'all, it's been a little bit of time, but we are now back at the Killin It compound. The roll cage is all installed, and she is looking, oh, mother freaking sick. Y'all want to see it? I bet you do, because, oh, brother, freaking real deal. All right, here we go. 1, 2, bam! How freaking sick is that? Now I think we kind of have like a race truck now. I end up not needing to get pool noodles. They actually make roll cage cushions that are actually made for this exact application. But bro, look at how freaking sexy. Comes right up out the floor. Sorry about the glare. It's a little bit sunny over here in Florida. But go, baby. Real mother freaking deal. Absolutely loving it. I had to do a little bit of trimming to my WeatherTech floor mat to get her to fit. But, dude, we got a freaking roll cage in the monster truck. Yeah! Thing is so sick. Let me hop in the back seat and I'll show you what that's like. Because that's the other kind of downside of roll cages I've seen in other people's mega trucks where they got roll cages, is there's no mother freaking leg room. Like, it like goes right into your knees and it kind of sucks. Well, not in the Killin It truck. Hell mother freaking yeah. Look at how bitchin' this thing is, bro. Comes up through the floor. Got my studs all painted black so they actually match the subframe down below. So if I ever want to take this out, everything's nice and protected and painted, but look at that. And I still got plenty of leg room. Look at that. I'm 6 foot. Not a problem in the world. Letting y'all know. And go. Look at how good it looks. Thing is so sexy. And it's going to keep us safe. Primarily it's sexy, but it's going to keep us safe too. Oh yeah. And it's got that metallic in it. Can y'all see the metallic flake? It's been so hard to show you. I don't know why it doesn't really show up in the videos. But yeah, it's freaking sick, bro. Absolutely love it. And check out the welds. Mr. Steve, man, he stacks them dimes. Steve Darvlicks does like anything that we ever need TIG welded. He's the man that does it. Bro, look at that. Look at this thing. Look at the motherfucking roll cage. Oh, yeah. Just another thing making the Killin It Mega Truck over the motherfucking top. God, man, I'm so happy with it. It looks so good. Look at it. Look at it. It's motherfucking killing it. Yeah. Hell yeah. I am so happy with it. It's not hard to get in and out whatsoever. Got plenty of leg room. We did kind of debate doing door bars that would kind of connect from here, and they'd have to go back to this plate back here, this pipe that's back there. But it would dig into the seat so much, and it would really just make it a real pain in the ass to get in and out of the truck. And I really don't think it's necessary, because I don't think I'll ever get any side impact. That's generally for like a race car type application, in case you're ever to get impaled from the freaking side. But bro, yep, that was a great decision. I freaking tell you that. And I love how it fits. Like, the mad scientist and I freaking killed it together. I wouldn't have been able to do it without him. No freaking way. But, dude, look at how good it looks. It tucks up nice and tight. Still got plenty of visibility out the windshield. Freaking killing it, bro. And I almost forgot to show y'all all that freaking work I did for the glove box. Freaking came out super bitchin'. And guess what? Oh, baby. We still got access to the glove box. That's the panel that I told you I was going to go ahead and secure in there. So I just put some threaded nut inserts in the back side of this little panel. Bolted it in from the back side when the glove box is out. Works snug as a bug in a rug. And it like looks all finished. Like you can't even tell that I cut that. Nice finished edge to it. So it's probably a little over the top. Probably didn't need to necessarily go through and recoat it and everything like I did because you can hardly even see it. But you know what? Looks freaking tip-top shape. And we got storage, bruh. But that is going to wrap up our video for putting the roll cage in the Killin It Mega Truck. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all like the roll cage. I know I sure as hell do. Hope you all learned a little something. And as always, thanks for watching, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video and want to check out future videos, subscribe to our channel. Hit that button right there. While you're at it, hit the like button at the bottom of your screen. You can also check out our website, killinitlifestyle.com. There you can follow the Killin It crew and order your own apparel so everyone will know you're killing it!